30. They have the family is more than 30 people.
Is it more than?
Yeah, in Korean and monastery.
Were you officially announced that on email or? No.
Is that
It is Sunday, March 30th at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, at the monastery.
Where is that at?
In Korean.
Gordon, Indiana?
Yeah,
Gordon,
monastery.
Indiana, at
My
monastery.
monastery.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, okay. I've never been there. I've never been there, but okay.
Okay. Okay, let me go back here again. So these are, you see, the faith of the devotion in the tradition mainly is for serving the monks, like donate or offer the food for the monks. And some of them, they decide to shoot too, but not much. Most of the time, the monastery is the center of the community. So they come to do the service to the monk, they offer the food to the monk, and they do meditation chanting at the monastery most of the times. At home, for example, if you go to Thailand, you see not many of them practice at home. But in Mahayana tradition, it's a bit different. It's more elaborate. So they have what called relics. Have mentioned this yet? Not yet. Relic devotion. The relic of Buddha, the Arhat, are the holy monks, the one who passed away already. Remember I told you about Huinam, remember? Right? So his body is still there, but many of them, when they pass away and they cremate their body and they remain in, like the bone and so forth, become a Buddhist relic, like the relic of Buddha, relic of the Arhat. That's a form of faith, form of devotion. They vow to. They devout for the relics and the statue. We have huge Buddhist statue everywhere, right? And printing sutra, remember I told you, right? The emperors in the past, of course, the lay people too. When they print the sutra, that's a form of great merit. And even, I remember I told you, to write the sutra, offering the flower, the food, and so forth. And meditation, that's part of dedication. And recitation here, let me tell you this. In most tradition, right, faith is so important elements, right? But I don't know whether they focus on the practice or not. Do they? I don't know. But in Buddhism, faith, especially in Pure Land tradition, if someone wants to be reborn in Western Pure Land, they need to have indestructible faith, a strong faith with this Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha, and have to practice desire his name continuously. And they make the vows to go there. So these are the three components or elements that they need to have, and they must have, not the faith alone. Well, you have the faith alone. If we don't have any kind of practice, that kind of faith may be shaken, right? Of course, in Christian tradition, they encourage the believers or followers to go to the church every Sunday. That's the ways how to encourage people to keep up with the faith. But in Buddhist point of view, that's not enough. We need to do the practice. So reason why the practice is so important. And in Nichiren, we have that one Nichiren group in Louisville. They design Lotus Sutra. That is recitation. That's devotion too. Besides meditation. So in Mahayana, there is really variety of practice, varieties of approaches with the faith alone. With the faith here. And here, like the Theravada monks, they go out barefoot foot. That's called arm round. That's called arm round. Arm rounds. But Mahayana monks, actually they are Theravada, but most time they stay at monastery and let people come to offer the food, the flower, and so for doing the special celebration, not every day, but for the garden monks. Yes?
Do people bring food to your monastery?
Yeah, quite often.
Quite
Yeah.
often. They bring vegetables?
Yeah, of course,
rice?
no meat. No, no meat at all.
They bring vegetables and rice?
No fish, no chicken,
No eggs?
no eggs. Yeah, yeah, we don't eat even garlic or onion too.
So you don't drink milk either?
Some of my, not my children, my students, young children, because they're still young, they can drink milk, but not for us.
Not for the adults.
Yeah, yeah.
I've known a couple of other Buddhists that don't eat onions and mushrooms.
Oh, mushrooms is okay. We eat most every day.
Oh, mushrooms are
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay. Onion and garlic is
Onions
different.
Why are onions not acceptable?
In Buddhist view, especially in this tradition, garlic or oil somehow it stimulates our desire. Yeah, so that's one. Of the
Like
reasons.
any spicy food? Like
No,
peppers?
only onion and garlic.
Only
that's all.
onions?
And garlic.
Garlic?
Garlic.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like peppers?
That's okay. Pepper is okay.
Even spicy peppers?
That's okay.
But not onions and garlic?
That's because it stimulates our desire. That's all. Okay. Yeah.
Garlic does?
Huh?
Garlic stimulates the desire?
Yeah. Yeah. In South, yeah, according to Eastern tradition. Yeah, according to Eastern medicine. Yeah. Okay. So,
like an aphrodisiac, or like,
What is that?
what do you mean?
what is that?
What kind of desires does garlic stimulate? I'm very interested. I've never, that's
Yeah,
a,
frankly speaking, sesame desire.
oh yeah, that's the first time I've ever
And
heard of
anger
garlic
too.
being.
And anger too. Yeah.
And anger.
I was just gonna make a point, because I know that people cook a lot with garlic and onions and it brings out flavor. Does that have something to do with?
You can say that. It's the smell, you know.
That it makes it taste too good where you want to just crave food?
No, only that's two herbs, right? When someone eat too much, let's say onion, right? You can smell them too, right? You see, huh? Okay, so that's the point. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's move on. So the next one here. The next one is Rajana. What do you have there? Caleb, please.
I looked at it and I looked at a thing that argued for going with an authentic guru for your devotions, and then I found
yeah, that's right.
I found that the guru is the embodiment of Trikaya, or the three bodies,
Yeah.
overlord of all Buddha families, the principle of all the Mandalas, the embodiment of the single forms of all Yadamas,
Yeah.
and the authentic guru teaches a path of devotion and faith and doesn't need our services to thrive. The authentic guru's qualities are endless and innumerable, and that the authentic gurus are not dualistics, like they don't disrespect and they don't respect. And then I got on another devotional thing by this, I think his name was Keenpo, Paladin Sharab, and he talked about devotion is divided into three interests, divided into three parts. Interest, like attachment to your home, like, oh, I might want to go home, and then longing to be home, and then your confidence, as in you finally settle down in your home. And I read this 3 or 4 times trying to figure out what he was trying to say, and this is what I came up with. Through devotion, joyful effort, confidence, and commitment, you get full awakenment or full sense of awareness. And I just kept reading, and if you continue to meditate and practice with devotion, you'll come to the realization that all the past Buddhas or other great masters have come to attain. And you're having a high expectation to, I'm going to achieve enlightenment by a certain date or whatever. It ends up leading to discouragement, and it can actually adhere or block your path to achieve it. And I've got 2 quotes that really stuck out to me. He said, if you free yourself from doubt and arm yourself with self-confidence, you can engage in the practices in a much deeper way. And that the other one was devotion is our head. Joyful effort is the strengthening of our muscles. And while meditation and practices are on our heart, our prayers and merit our feet to move along the path.
Wow,
I just thought that was really fascinating.
Thank you. Transformation, especially with Guru Yoga, especially in the Zen tradition, in Vajrayana tradition, is so important. This is more important than taking the three refuge. Why? According to them, without teacher, without master, you don't know the way. So that is why they devote their life to visualize themselves as a part of Guru. They consider Guru as the real Buddha, a live Buddha. So that's why they make that kind of devotion, that kind of determination. Of course, deity, remember we talked about deity yoga, right? They visualize themselves as a certain type of Buddha, certain type of Bodhisattva. Right? Remember I told you your model, right? Remember? You want, because you look up to that kind of model. Right? So do the Buddhists. Right? They look up to the Buddha, Bodhisattva, or even their Guru, so that they can practice with that type of aspiration. Right? So this is important. Now, you have not seen this kind of strength practice, and you see that now, right?
These three ladies have been coming for the last 5 days, and they've got another 25 days or 35 days to get to the next monastery. And they just keep doing this. How amazing is this determination in life? Determination of the amazing energy, the amazing courage, the amazing
As a whole concentration, yes.
What are the things on their hands?
Oh,
This is to
Is that gloves?
keep it clean, see that?
It's protecting her so she can slide on the rocks.
I'd much rather have those things than not have.
Is this the 3 steps, 1 down?
Probably this one.
go into the next.
That's for 1,000 years. That's our tradition, especially in Tibet. It's 1,000 years. And here is another clip. There's a Vietnamese monk. He did one step, one bow. 1 step, 1 bow instead of 3 steps, 1 bow. And he has a lot of bodyguard. And he bowed from South Vietnam, from Saigon city to nearby Hanoi city.
How far is it?
How far? Let me show you. Okay. That's one step, 1 bow.
All the way from Saigon to Hanoi?
Yeah.
That's a while, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah, that's across the whole country.
Yeah, almost.
1 step, 1 bow from Saigon to...
To Hanoi,
Does he
yeah.
ever sleep or
Yeah, of
rest or
course
anything?
he's sleep.
It's
Yeah.
called Ho Chi Minh now?
Yeah, Ho Chi Minh, yeah. Right here. This is Saigon here. And this Hanoi here.
Oh, gosh. It's like 1,000.
One step,
Like
1 bow.
1,000 miles?
How long did
More
it
than that, huh?
How long did it
More, I
take?
think more than 2 years.
2 years.
More than 2 years. 1 step, 1 bow. That's devotion.
Okay, so he
Yeah,
still
that's
has a
devotion.
chance
He done. He finished.
to work and do whatever he has to do. There's a car or something that's gonna pick him up or whatever, bring him back.
That's right. So that's reason why he has many bodyguards. Yeah, that's devotion too. It's just, you see a lot in Eastern tradition. Can you imagine? You never, right? You never
Just
do this.
doing that to go home tonight or something.
What's that?
Just doing 1 step, 1 bow going home tonight across the bridge.
No, right?
Girl is hit on the side of the road.
Yeah, actually, one of my Dharma brother in California, he did that too. From LA to northern part of San Francisco.
From Los Angeles to San Francisco?
Yeah, it's just
That's
really
far.
in 70, yeah.
That's just like here in America, you know, a friend of mine, you know, so they got together and they walked from Florida,
Yeah.
from Florida all the way up the East Coast to Maine. They hiked.
Hiking is different.
Yeah, it is.
It
Yeah.
They were just hiking to see it, to see
Uh-huh.
the sights or whatever, or just for fun,
No, yeah, just for,
or to raise money for something?
no, these were just some guys that, and their families, and they just did it, you know, they wanted to do
Okay,
something.
here, this one here, this is, they are my brother. That means they follow the same teacher as mine, and they did this one here. See, where is that? They did it back in, I think, in the 70s.
So he had bodyguards. Did anybody ever try anything on him?
Well, it's a lot, just a lot of story. He make his journal too. Yeah, please step on down. It's him, but I don't know whether they recall him. All right, here that's the news. That's the news, but they don't recall back in the 70s. So that's it. Yeah. Right here. This is a horse pictures with that's one here. And he did that from LA to Ukiah, or not part of 2 hours, not 2 hour drive from San Francisco, for I think more than 2 years. Back in the 70s. Anyways, remember I told you Xu Yun, remember that? He started 37 bound, right, from nearby Shanghai to Beijing. But actually this station, I think, is initiated in Tibet, mainly in Tibet. Yeah, and the Chinese Buddhist monks. Okay, so let's just move on to the next one. So that shows how dedicated they are. Yeah, yeah.
Back to the topic of the guru, don't you think there's a danger in that,
You can say
especially
that.
in the Western culture?
You know, both ways.
Yeah.
I know sometimes some people take advantage of that. And sometimes if they have that kind of devotion, they're more sincere. So both ways.
They used to do that a lot. Like, didn't they? I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not sure or not. During the hippie
Yeah.
era and right after the hippie era, they had like communes, but they were like yoga retreats where people would go and live there and follow a guru, but they were kind of like cults.
That's many
That happened a
different.
lot. Yeah.
But you know, in the East somehow we have some, but not much like in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even they really devote their life for the guru practice, but it's not much with the problems. Yeah,
You mean
because of the tradition in the East.
in the
Yeah,
East,
because
yeah.
here quite different.
It seems like a lot of people in the West will create false teachings and just idolize gurus.
That's the
It
point.
just
This
seems
is
not
not-
everything un-Buddhist, you know what I mean?
You have that problem in every religion, though.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Like
true.
the people that drank cyanide to go to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you say?
I was just talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, so next one. Okay, talk about donation. Number 5. Kristen, what do you have there?
It talked about dana, I think it's how you
Yeah,
pronounce it,
Dana, that's right.
which is the formal religious act of specifically directed to a monk, nun, or other spiritually developed person. It's the
Yeah.
almsgiving that
Yeah.
supports the sangha and the monks in the community.
Yeah.
And you get merit from doing this.
Yeah.
But the more important part about it is that you're giving freely without any expectation of
That's the
receiving
point.
anything. And you're not supposed to focus on the merit that you're getting. You're supposed to focus on the joy that the other person gets from your gifts and
Yeah.
generosity.
Remember we talked about paramita, remember? Last time, right, when we talked about emptiness, remember that? Paramita for passion, remember? Condition for passion, remember that? We will talk about that later on too. That's it? You get something to say?
Donation is just a really important part of Buddhism. Often, like after practices, they'll have a dana basket where you like put in money, either for like with the lay community, it may just be to help rent the space, or with the monastery, it may be to help fund, in your case, maybe like food for the monks, or activities, or electric bills, or water bills, or whatever, but it also kind of decreases attachment to materialistic items. So a lot of people, like a lot of monks, will donate their income if they have any, so that they don't have that attachment to money or wealth. And same with lay community members, they'll donate a certain portion of money or land or food or something. So
This kind of dana is in general what we call generosity, right? It's applicable in any traditions. But remember I told you, right? In the church, they pass the baskets around, right? Somehow, if you see the one who sits and right on the left of you, put in the morning in the basket, and you alone don't put anything, what do you think? You feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But in Buddhist tradition, we have the box there, the donation box. And whoever wants to put, can put. There's no pressure. No, that's just their choice. And actually, up to now, especially in this country, many Buddhist monasteries and temples, somehow they follow the Christian tradition or Western traditions to do fundraising. But in the East before, we didn't have that kind of practice. And even for me, I never do any kind of fundraising before. Because I prefer people come, and if they like, they can support to the Buddhist community, the monastic community freely, voluntarily. This is more, I think, it's more healthy than to send a letter to encourage people to send the money to the monastery or church. I think it's somehow, if you relate to money, somehow we have some problems sooner or later. And that's a part of dana. Another one is in Buddhism, generosity, the practice of giving is so important. Not only to give or to support the Sangha or Buddhist monastic communities, but also to the poor people, to anyone that needs our help. Because that's the way we generate the merit, we generate the blessing. That's the way we generate good relationship with other people. So that's especially in Mahayana tradition, it's so important. And plus, when we paramita, that means completion. Remember we talked about that? That means like Shika mentioned, what means completion? That means when we give out without any condition, that is pure giving. But if we give out to someone else and we have him condition, right? Sometimes people know or may not know. If they know, they may be hesitant to accept our gift, right? Especially, let's say, during the Valentine's, right? You offer the flower to your girlfriend or boyfriend, you have conditions with them, right? With that person. You understand that? Or you give out the loan, you expect people to pay back that loan, right? So that's giving with condition. But in Buddhist view, when we give out, try our best to give in the condition, without any condition. That's a pure giving. Yes.
What types of donations does the monastery receive in Corden? Like, what types of things do people bring?
So basically food and money, that's all. And of course, sometimes they come to the monastery to help out, but most of the time we do by ourselves. Let's say when in this winter we have some broken pipes, sometimes we need to grow down and fix up ourselves too. Yeah, of course we are some like people in Louisville who but most of the time we do it ourselves. Yeah.
How big is the monastery?
It's just small. We have a bigger land, a small temple. We have more than 80 acres land.
80?
Yeah, and that's just small whole. 40 by 60 unit. Yes.
How long have you been there, and how many monks and how many nuns?
Oh really?
You don't
Okay.
mind.
Yeah. I've been there right before September 11, 2001, and up to now we have 4 monks, 2 nuns, and some lay people, including the young children. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Let me see who will find. Oh wow, you're almost there. Okay, number 6, please.
It's me.
Yes, please. What do you find?
The pilgrimage sites in India.
Yeah.
Of course, there's many of them because it's
Yeah.
where the Buddha was born. 4 of the major sites that the Buddha himself highlighted on their significance of visiting those places because they evoke strong emotions. Is his birthplace in Lumbini,
Yeah.
the place where he was enlightened, and the place where he gave his first teaching, and his death place as well. In Lumbini, there's a pillar erected by Ashoka in the place where he was enlightened called Bodhigaya.
Bodhigaya.
Bodhigaya. There's still a Bodhi tree. Can I say Bodhi tree? It's said to be a direct descendant of the tree that he rested under and meditated under. So it's the one living link we have left to the Buddha. Ashoka actually took cuttings from that tree and planted them around in different places. There's also sites people go to where his relics are taken, and there's, of course, that legend of Ashoka built 84,000 stupas that house his relics.
Yeah.
And also, pilgrimage to India really helped spread Buddhism. There was the Chinese man, Gaksan, he traveled to India and visited a lot of holy sites and brought back texts with him, and that helped Buddhism spread throughout China as well.
Since we don't have time, this is the video clip seven wonders of India, Mahabodhi Temple. This is place. This is one of the most sacred place. That's where the Buddha attained enlightenment. And every year, millions of Buddhists go there. That's the Bodhi tree there. That's the Tibetan monks that decide.
Buddha's enlightenment in early 6th century BC. In the 3rd century BC, Emperor Ashoka visited Gaya and constructed the temple.
So this one is built by Ashoka. That's a tree there. That's the tree where he sat.
The temple that we see today is an updated version built by the Gupta dynasty.
Actually, this temple is run by Hindu and Buddhist monks. Because you remember from 13th century to late 19th century, this was administered by Hindu, but later on, because of Buddhist argument, so they let the Buddhists to administrate this holy site. And of course, since we don't have time, so if you don't have time to see all, so please, if you have time, you can watch some video clip about Sanat, where he first gave the teaching, Lumbini, where he was born, and Kushinara, where he passed away. So that's 4 most important holy Buddhist place in China. In India. about in China?
China.
What do you have there?
The most popular area of pilgrimage I found was the four sacred mountains,
Yeah.
and it's they're sacred for both Buddhism and Taoism. And in each individual mountain, there is supposed to be a Bodhisattva who's still dwelling there that's reached nirvana to help others reach enlightenment.
Yeah.
And the first mountain is
Wutashan,
Wutashan.
yeah.
And it's known as the Five Platform Mountain. It holds more than 50 temples, and it's the oldest pilgrimage site in China.
Yeah.
The Bodhisattva that's supposed to be there is Manjuri, and it's the Bodhisattva of wisdom. The second mountain is Imeshan, which means high and lofty mountain. There's more than 30 temples there. The Bodhisattva is Samantabhadra, and they're closely associated with the practice of meditation. Jiao Shan, which means Nine Glories Mountain, is supposed to have the Bodhisattva.
In more tradition, right? Faith is so important elements, right? But I don't know whether they focus on the practice or not. Do they? I don't know. But in Buddhism, faith, especially in Pure Land tradition, if someone wants to be reborn in Western Pure Land, they need to have indestructible faith, a strong faith with this Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha, and have to practice desire his name continuously. And they made the vows to go there. So these are the three components or elements that they need to have, they must have, not the faith alone. Well, you have the faith alone. If we don't have any kind of practice, that kind of faith may be shaken, right? Of course, in Christian tradition, they encourage the believers or followers to go to the church every Sunday. That's the ways how to encourage people to keep up with the faith. But in Buddhist point of view, that's not enough. We need to do the practice. So reason why the practice is so important. And in Nichiren, we have one Nichiren group in Louisville. They design Lotus Sutra. That is recitation. That's devotion too. Besides meditation. Probably they have the families more than 20 people.
Is it Northern?
Yeah, in Cornell and monastery.
Will you officially announce that on email or?
Is that
It is Sunday, March 30th at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, at the monastery.
Where is it at?
In Cornell.
Gordon, Indiana?
Yeah,
Gordon, Indiana, at the monastery.
Monastery.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, yeah, okay. I've never been there. I've never been there, but okay.
Okay. Okay, let me go back here again. So these are, you see, faith of the devotion in the tradition mainly is for serving the monks, like the name. All is still there, but many of them, when they pass away and they cremate their body and they remain in, like they born and so forth, become a Buddhist relic, like the relic Buddha, relic of the Arhats. As form of faith, form of devotion, they vow to. They vow for the relics and the statue. We have huge Buddhist statue everywhere, right? And printing sutra, remember I told you, right? The emperors in the past, of course, the lay people too. When they print the sutra, that's a form of great merit. And even, remember I told you, to write the sutra, offering the flower, the food, and so forth. And meditation, that's part of dedication. And recitation here, let me tell you this. Offer the food for the monks. And some of them, they decide the sutra too, but not much. Most of the time, the monasteries is the central of the community. So they come to do the service to the monk, they offer the food to the monk, and they do meditation, chanting at the monastery most of the times. At home, for example, if you go to Thailand, you see not many of them practice at home. But in Mahayana traditions, a bit different. It's more elaborate. So they have what called relics. Have mentioned this yet? Not yet. Relic devotion. The relic of Buddha, the Arhat, are the holy monks, the one who passed away already. Remember I told you about Huinam, remember? Right? So his